It's tea time.
It's tea time with Mary.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Tea Parties on the Internet. I am your host, Miss Mary Lou, and it is so lovely to see your smiling faces back on the Miss Mary Lou channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. Cheers to that. And friends, today's video, we are hopping back into our What Is series. I love this series. We all just get to nerd out a little bit and learn things about tea that we didn't know before. And wow, today's tea, I really did not know a lot about. And it's really interesting, actually. We are doing What is Kombucha? You know, that sparkly beverage that all of your 20-something friends are obsessed with and can't stop talking about. Yeah, kombucha, that kombucha. Did you know kombucha is tea? I didn't when I first heard of it and tried it. I had no idea it was a tea base. So, that makes it a perfect candidate for some awesome video discussion. But before we launch into our What is Kombucha today, if you are not subscribed to the Miss Mary Lou channel already, you are seriously missing out. Please hit the red subscribe button below and the little notification bell so you know when I upload. And also I like to drink it out of a champagne glass because I'm feeling fancy. Let's get into it. So friends, what is kombucha? Kombucha is a fermented tea drink. It starts as a sweetened tea beverage and then symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, otherwise known as SCOBY, is added to it to start the fermentation process. Now, the SCOBY munches on the sugar and it results in carbonation and some vitamins and all sorts of fun stuff. And fun fact, kombucha usually has about 30% less caffeine than the base that it started with. Just like all the little things going and burping. It's like, yeah, I can relate. The resulting concoction is usually highly acidic, about 3.5-ish on the pH scale, very slightly alcoholic, and also full of probiotics. Sometimes. We'll get into that later. So yes, this is technically not an alcohol-free food, even though it is sold as a non-alcoholic beverage most of the time. It's less than 0.5%, but if you are someone who does not consume alcohol, any kind of kombucha is going to have small amounts. So if that's something that's a concern for you, kombucha, no matter what anyone says, it's gonna have alcohol in it, at least trace amounts. That's not to say that kombuchas can't be higher in alcohol. Yes, they can. They have some that are about the strength of a beer, but that's because the fermentation process is allowed to go on longer, where the SCOBY eats up more of the sugar, burps more carbonation, and puts more alcohol into the beverage, although allowing that process to go on without like super clean and super controlled conditions, blah, 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 can make it a little bit more dangerous, which we will get into also later. So yes, that's kombucha. That's what it is. Who knew? I didn't, but I'm thankful that it's delicious. The kombucha I'm drinking today, in case you're wondering, is a little bit more of a savory end kombucha, where it has a green tea as its base that was sweetened before fermentation, and it has some nice herbage in there, so things like organic rosemary, sage, mint, and it's very delicious. Uh-oh. I'm a SCOBY. So, where did kombucha come from? Well, the origin is quite uncertain, and the internet and other reliable sources say all kinds of different things. But from what I've been able to piece together, it may have started in China along the Silk Road, where they were fermenting tea, and it just spread from there. The drink did become more popular in the US around the 80s or so, when there was the AIDS epidemic, because there were some theories that kombucha could actually help boost the immune system. We know now that that's a really bad idea because if anything squirrely is going on with anything fermented, if you have a compromised immune system, you are more susceptible to getting sick. So, we learned a lot, you know? The term kombucha itself comes from the Japanese word kombucha, which roughly translates to kelp tea. But kelp tea in Japanese does not mean what we think of as kombucha. It's a different drink entirely. There are theories there may have been a possible misunderstanding, but yeah, so kombucha translates to kelp tea, but kelp tea is not kombucha. So, language. So, the good stuff. How is kombucha good for you? Now, again, I am not a doctor. If you have any questions or medical concerns, please talk to your doctor. There have been many enormous claims made by the people who are probably selling and making kombucha. And I have to say, pretty much all of them have gone completely unproven, and no studies have ever been conducted on humans. So some say it boosts the immune system, can cure cancer, help with AIDS, etc., etc., etc. None of this has actually been scientifically proven, and as we know now, like I mentioned earlier, if something goes wrong with the fermentation process, those who are ill, especially with compromised immune systems, should not be having anything fermented. They're just at a higher risk. More vitamins are made during the fermentation process, like some B vitamins, vitamin C, etc. So that's good. And also probiotics. We hear about probiotics that are good for your gut all the time. Yeah, those are good. The only sort of sciencey thing to support kombucha has more to do with the probiotics that are in it. However, don't be fooled. Many kombuchas that are sold in your grocery store have been pasteurized, which is great to reduce the risk of any bad bacteria hanging out, but also kills off all of the good bacteria as well, which renders any possible positive results of drinking kombucha basically null and void. So if you are looking for something with active cultures in it, I would read the label of your kombucha to see if it is pasteurized or not. And just keep in mind, if it is not pasteurized, if anything went squirrely during the fermentation process, you are at a higher risk of getting sick. I know I'm saying a lot of disclaimers and bad things in the good stuff category, but the truth is, we just don't have the research to back this stuff up. Does it do awesome things? I don't know. But just keep in mind the next time someone maybe tries to push something on you like kombucha for supposed health benefits, it's just very murky as far as health benefits go. So just be aware. So the bad stuff. I've brought this up a few times now. Fermentation can be a very tricky process, and if not done correctly under very specific controlled conditions, it can result in bad bacteria and molds growing on kombucha. I've had some people approach me even about making kombucha on the channel, and I did some research about it and decided it is not worth the risk. There have been a few instances of death and different illnesses from drinking kombucha, and it's all been from home brews. So that kind of raises a red flag for me. I am not comfortable doing it. If you would like to make your own kombucha, just be aware of the health risks that are involved. Also, this is a highly acidic drink. 3.5 on the pH scale. That's a lot. Fish can't survive in kombucha, so maybe don't drink a lot of it all the time because, I have acid reflux. I know how that goes. I have to drink this stuff sparingly, which is probably why it's so special and I like it in a champagne glass. But you may be thinking, Mary Lou, something so dangerous. How do they sell it in stores? Blah, 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 blah. Well, the FDA has stepped in and regulates that process and also said it is safe to consume in moderation. So you can still have your kombucha. and drink it too. Just be aware, is your drink pasteurized or is it not pasteurized? Do the potential, maybe not really proven health benefits of non-pasteurized outweigh the health risks for you? That is completely up to you and your doctor and all the people in your life. I'm just here to give you some facts because it's really tasty and I didn't know that it was even a tea beverage. And I really enjoy it. It's very good. So, friends, did you know anything about kombucha before this video? I didn't even know it was a tea-based beverage. I just think it's absolutely fascinating and it's really, really good. I know it's like a hip thing right now, but like I don't really drink a lot of alcohol. It's not something that I enjoy a lot, and this is just like a really special super low alcohol thing that's just fun to drink and is really delicious in my opinion. Am I gonna make it at home? No. Oh no. There's too much. There's too many risks for me. But what did you learn today? What was the most surprising thing that you have heard about kombucha from this video and beyond? I would love to know. Please, let's discuss it in the comments below. Do you even like kombucha? Have you ever had it before? What's your favorite flavor? Oh my gosh, there's this one place in LA that makes this blueberry ginger kombucha and like, it's so good. It's so good. And of course, if you have any other recommendations for any other What Is episodes, please let me know in the comments below. You all have wonderful ideas and I love chatting with you in the comments, so I'll see you there. And last and most important of all, I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you next tea party.
It's tea time with Mary.
A one, a two, a scoobity-doo-bitty-doo. Thanks for watching a tea time with Mary. I hope to see you real soon. If you want to like, subscribe, and comment, I think that would be cool. Check out my facebook.com/teatimewithmary for all the content that's new, or my Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm at Miss Mary Lou. So thanks again for joining us, and thanks for being a friend. We'll see you next tea party. The fun never ends on Tea Time with Mary. That is me. I know how to play my own outro song. Hey. No, but really though, like it's really good. I really like it.